with Dave Harris.
Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind. One-on-one.
Retro Rewind.
I'm doing this show in Mexico, but at the same time, like, I'm reliving all these moments, you know, of the tour in my mind, like looking out to the audience and seeing different reactions, and you know, it's gone already. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. You know what I mean? And that's there's so many lessons in this journey, but it seems simple, but you know, in a weird way, in a cruel way, it might as well be 89. You know what I mean? Because it's done. You know what I mean? Yeah. And but that's what made it so exciting. You know what I mean? You could feel that we were all grasping a moment. You know what I mean? And when I say we, I mean us five and you know, the thousands and thousands, the 500,000 people that came to see us, you know, on this tour, is that, you know, we were all grasping that moment, and they couldn't believe that they got to experience this again, you know. Right. And it was just it was something you'll never. I don't know. The next time we do it, or if we do it, or the next tour, or it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a good time, and it's going to be a very entertaining show. But like, the combination of nostalgia and the right nowness of it was almost better than the first time. I mean, obviously, I think it's much better because they're not 7, 8, 9, 12, 15 years old. Right. They can appreciate it more. They're adults now, so they can hold it and kind of in their palm of their hand instead of choking the life out of it, you know. But it's all this stuff happening. It's not like, oh my God, like, we made it, we're here, you know, that kind of a thing. And that being said, the funny thing is that there's a lot of teenagers out there too that you know are loving the new music and are just kind of interested in saying, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? And coming to see it and checking it out and being entertained. I mean, I think we know how to entertain people. You know what I mean? I think we pride ourselves. That's how we started. You know what I mean? Before there were records or anything, there were just shows, you know, back in the day in Boston. And it was all about when's the next show and what do we do on the next show to make it exciting, you know? And we put that same energy into this tour, and it's been a blast, you know? And now we go to the UK, which has been, you know, insane for us back in the day. And we're going to Europe, we're going to Paris and Germany and Amsterdam, and it's gonna be fun. It's just more crazy, wild memories, but at the same time, it's what we do now, you know. So it's not surreal anymore. It's really, this is what we do. We're fortunate, but you know, it's about performing and being the best performer you can be, and hitting all the right notes in the sweetest, nicest, greatest, hardest way you can, and you know, we're doing that.
Would you say that when you were younger and this was a part of the gig, the job, doing these shows, was some of that lost on you as a teenager, and it's different for you now?
Well, it was frustrating because, in some ways, because I don't know. For me, I knew. In some ways, you know. I knew I should have been in high school. You know what I mean? I knew I should have been home just being a kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, but you know, you have this amazing opportunity, and every night you go on stage was a blast. But, you know, there's nothing like, you know, getting older and having experience and learning the nuance of performing and fine tuning stuff. And I guess in some ways I was kind of an old soul, so I was like, man, I wish I was older. You know, inside I appreciated it, and I loved the showmanship of it and what performing is all about. But at the same time, I knew I was just a kid. So you get that I wouldn't call it a battle, but a duel. Yeah.
You know, we were talking a little earlier before we sat in here about a tune that your buddy E-Man kind of co-wrote. and so and produced. So it's 2 a.m, right?
Yep.
And that's gonna hopefully be a single, or it is.
I think that's going to be the next single. I'm almost positive. I mean, I don't want to.
Jinx anything?
I give you the inside scoop, I guess, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next single. Yeah, it's a great song. I mean, music changes so much, like the sound of it and what it is. But when I came in here one night, last year. I can't believe it was only last year, man. It seems like it was 3 years ago, but it was only a year ago. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's really scary. It's scary, but but it seems a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It seems, yeah. Well, I came in and Donnie was in here and working with Eamon and this guy Zukon, who's like the beat master, songwriter guy, and Casey Livingston, this girl who's written. She's not to say that there's a difference between a guy or a girl writer, but she's one of the most sought after girl songwriters. I mean, I've never heard anybody with a better rep or with people saying nicer things than Casey Livingston. And she's real sweet, and she's just, you never know it. She doesn't look like a girl who writes all these dope R&B, urban pop songs. And,
Yeah.
But anyway, so they were in there and they were singing this song 2 a.m. And I thought it was very urban at the time. I thought it was very kind of like, But the subject matter was very mature. It was about a mature relationship and the conflicts that come up in a relationship, and it's not always wine and roses. It's simple life decisions that you got to go through and trying to work it out, and where it was a turning point. You know what I mean? It's that song. The cool thing about that song is it's still happening. It's happening. You know what I mean? There's songs that you write that are about a love lost, you know what I mean? Or I want to love you. Right. But this is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? Like what comes to mind is I mean, if I could be so bold, but like with the Beatles, we can work it out.
Yeah.
Try to see it my way. And maybe subconsciously, like at the end of 2 a.m, when I say we can work it out, I mean, that just came out. That was an ad lib. I didn't get any writing credit for it, but that just came out. We can work it out, because that's what I felt. You know what I mean? And actually, when we were singing it, it was really, Donnie's one of the writers, and it was sort of what he's already talked about it, like what he was going through in his life. So I'm not like, spilling any beans, but it can be a very tough, not a sad song, but a tough song. But that there's still going to be that hope, you know what I mean? And there is a lot of hope in that song. And and it was funny, Donnie loved when I sang that, and I was afraid that he wouldn't, because I didn't want to be sappy about it, you know what I mean, that there's always a chance, but he loved that because he felt there was always hope, and there is always hope in that song. So, but I was saying about that Beatles song is that there's a nowness of what are we gonna do? Yeah. Not this happen, or is it gonna happen, but what's gonna happen, or and I like that. I like that about the song, and I think the track is amazing, and I think everyone sounds great on it. So and Eamon obviously knows what he's doing, so.
Retro Rewind
with Dave Harris. Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind. One on one.
Retro Rewind.